Hi, Ma. Our journey has been treating us kindly so far. Farran and me have met a lot of folks and seen some spectacular sights in Lenosha. I can't wait to tell you all about it when we come home. Any road. On to Aleport. When we left Morby Dry Docks, the sun was just coming up in the sky. I wanted to make sure we had plenty of time to visit one special location before we headed off for Aleport. The Salt Strand is a dazzling reminder of the toll the Calamity took on the star's surface. When a shard from the Red Moon fell to this spot during the Calamity, a ginormous amount of ether was released from just beneath the rocklet sea. This ether crystallized upon impact, fusing with the salty water, creating the impressive landmark instantaneously. I recalled Great-Grandpa's version of the tale, how he'd use his arms and hands to mimic the collision and the aftermath. He'd said it looked like the whole sea was trying to fly into the heavens. And when it froze, he was struck with wonder and dread. Gazing up at the crystalline structure, I tried to envision how it must have felt when it first happened. I couldn't even begin to imagine the fear the people felt, watching as the star around them began to fall apart and change shape. I wondered what I would do if something so terrible were to happen again. Would I be able to stand strong and tall like Great-Grandpa? Ma said that my pa went to help during those times, and he never came back. Would I be able to be so selfless? Cold gripped at my fluttery insides, and I had to swallow the lump that formed in the back of my throat. I sure hoped another calamity didn't happen anytime soon. I wasn't sure I'd be able to help at a time like that. Before the calamity, only the Candlekeep and Ocean's Torch made use of the boats at Candlekeep Quay. After the calamity struck, Morby Dry Dock suffered immense damage, and the small port was expanded to make room for artisans delivering goods. Now it offers a direct route to Aleport. Despite its modest size, I was surprised to find a good number of folks there going about their business. Pardon me, ma'am. Is this where I get on the ferry to Aleport? You are correct. You may board at any time. But before you do, adventurer, might I have a moment of your time? Certainly, ma'am. How can I help you? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Azuman, field assessor for Milvan's Gate. My work with the Custom House involves the investigation of claims made regarding the unlawful import of restricted items from foreign shores. Recently, there have been a number of petitions made by the residents of Candlekeep Quay concerning a species not native to Vilbran. If this species is indeed alien to the island, it must be located and destroyed immediately before it is allowed to reproduce and possibly disturb the natural balance found here amongst the area's fauna. I would ask that you take this lump of fated Jodo flesh and place it upon one of the mounds of soil thought to be the nests of the invasive species. The odor should draw forth whatever creatures lurk beneath, leaving them easy targets. Just leave it to me, ma'am.
This sure is strong.
It weren't hard to find the mounds of dirt the Mikote gal was talking about. They were well up to my knees. A chocobo could sprain an ankle if he wasn't careful walking over one of these.
Oh!
Howdy, ma'am. It seems like the situation is under control now. Looked like a bad case of mites, if I reckon. Favnarian mites? We have collected eggs from cargo carried on ships hailing from Radzat Han before, but always in Limsalominsa. There are no records of ships traveling to or from the tiny island nation making stops here in Candlekeep Way, nor would they ever need to. Unless the mites did not come from a ship that laid anchor here, but from a different vessel, one with more heinous motives. I believe this will require further investigation. I thank you again for your assistance. Perhaps I may require your services again in the near future. Anytime, ma'am. Will you be traveling to Aleport, lad? Aye, ma'am. 2 tickets for the ferry, please. Great-grandpa told me all about Aleport, as he'd been here many a time in his travels. He mentioned that not only is the ale delicious, but there's also ample space to stretch your sea legs and get a good night's rest at the inn. Aleport is so named for the very ale that keeps its economy afloat. Any sailor knows that water doesn't last forever on those long sea voyages, so this shipyard is often a stop for many seagoers to fill their holds. Additionally, Aleport keeps their taxes low on grog, and in return has a thriving trade on the stuff. Taking in the sight of the large port, I felt a rush of excitement. I wondered if this was how Great-Grandpa felt every time he came to a new place.
Ahoy, adventurer! Come. Now, my tub sails soon, and I have to have me a little something for the journey. The dustbats are flying. Get yourself lightsome enough to bring me 5 wings. 4 won't do, and 6 is no good, mind you. Welcome you are to keep any surfeits, so long as you know what to do with them. So, you'll bring me the wings?
Why, certainly, sir. It'll be no trouble at all. Do you see them, Farran? They're right up there. Howdy, sir. I got your bat wings for you.
Ahoy then, keep your voice down. Nobody's business but ours, isn't it? You got what I asked for.
Oh, pardon me, sir. I got them.
Oh, them's the ones. And that's a prettier job as I've seen. No, you wait around no battle, eh? Well, that's just fine, thank you.
Pardon me, sir, but why wouldn't you want the other sailors to know about your, special items?
Why? Well, we sailors can be a superstitious lot, you know. Well, some of the crew might look at me old like for carrying bat perks when their winds died and the water casks go dry. It's odd one day, overboard the next.
By the 12, I could see why you wouldn't want them to hear, but isn't it superstitious to carry your special items?
What? No superstition about that. The task has been my luck since I was a boy. Survived more than 2 weeks once on 3 bats I caught, trapped at the top of an abandoned watchtower. This journey will be sailing past the Isles of Umbra, can feel the sea holding those reefs. The lights at Feral City has burned dim since the calamity. And I've always found it a bite too much like that old watchtower for comfort. I ain't been that affrighted boy for a long time. Ill-used, starved, and more than half-mad, inching down that sandstone wall on handholds no bigger than a fingertip. But I'll have me 5 bat wings on every journey, just the same as that boy had.
Ah, well, I can see why you wanted them then. May the navigator bring you fair winds and following seas, sir. After that excursion, Farran and me decided to take a look around Aleport and see what we might find. In all the artworks I'd ever seen of Lalafell, she is depicted as a strong fisherwoman, grasping a harpoon with a look of sheer determination and strength upon her face. Great-grandpa wrote that he believed the sculptor chose the style of a mermaid to appeal to the local fishermen and sailors at the port. I don't think Great-grandpa was very fond of this portrayal, but I found myself drawn to it. In a way, the sculpture made me think of Ma. She's the toughest woman I know, what with carrying the farm's weight on her shoulders all alone these days. Yet she'll spare a warm smile for anyone. Except for maybe Great-grandpa on occasion. As we continued our walk to the higher levels, we couldn't help but overhear what sounded like someone getting a very serious scolding.
I've a mind to throw you both in the brig to rot.
I don't know what the two of them did to deserve it, but I knew I didn't want to stick around to find out. At the highest portion of the port town's walls are a line of cannons. From my understanding, these cannons were installed by the Knights of the Barracuda a long time ago as a means of protection against the unruly Sahagins that threatened Aleport. Hark! Enemy in the sky! Pull yourself together, Private. You've been trained for this. Even if the only action you've ever seen has been street fights, tavern brawls, and fisticuffs over who cheated at checkers. First things first, I must ready the cannon. Now to walk myself through the steps. Right. Make certain you are with succor, for arming a cannon is no swift matter. So far, so good. I'll just get Camille and... Camille? That girl! Always nowhere to be found when she's needed. Fine, Sarge always said to improvise. You, over there. Aye, ma'am. Adventurer Linsa has need of your service. Slow down the enemy while I arm the cannon. I'll be ready ere the 5th carcass is cold, I promise you. Have no fear, ma'am. Farran and me'll take care of him. When we got outside the walls of Aleport, I didn't see any major threats. A group of pucklins were fluttering about, grazing, and the dusk bats flew idly by. Does she mean the pucklings? They don't seem like much of a threat, but she must know what she's talking about. They didn't put up much of a fight. Ma'am, the threat has been taken care of. Ready to fire! I keep my promises, adventurer, and you keep your skills well honed, I see. A moment, I just received a dispatch. What? They weren't attacking Aleport? Well, that's... What? We're not important enough? They were just babies? Well, you'd have to be duller than a box of hair to fly at a cannon position, times being what they are. I suppose all's well that ends well, but I must admit I was looking forward to putting my training to real use. I didn't join the Maelstrom to break up brawls, you know, and now I shall have to clean the cannon. You were just trying to protect everyone. Don't feel too hard about it. Don't hesitate to call on me if you need any help in the future. By this point, I'd begun to work up a mighty hunger, so we made our way to the docks to have some lunch. I felt awful sorry to have hurt those pucklings, but I knew it had been an honest mistake. I hoped the gal wouldn't be punished too harshly, and I made a note to make sure to pay my respects to the creatures before we left for the next town. Aleport sure was a busy place compared to the other towns we'd visited so far. It made me excited to think about what the rest of the day had in store for us. Come on, Farran. Let's see who else needs help.
Ahoy, lad!
Hello, sir. Did you need something?
It's clean slipped my mind last time, but I've another thing to ask of you. My bearings are lively on the water, but on land, well, I'm what you landlubbers call at sea. Got a letter that needs delivering, and you're the man for it. I went ashore on some rock on the voyage in, and a faded petticoat comes up to me. Says she's got a daughter in Camp Skull Valley that she hadn't seen in years. And tears in her eyes. Pretty eyes, too, for a woman past her childhood years. She must have been a real beauty in her day. Always had a soft spot for tawny eyes. Mayhap because the sea's a green-eyed ramble, and the skies, her sisters, have eyes blue and red, grey and black. Well, this daughter of hers goes by Will Smith. You'll take the letter to her?
Certainly, sir. I'll have that letter to her in a jiffy.
Greetings, adventurer. They said you're looking for me.
Aye, ma'am. Your ma sent you a letter.
A letter from Mama? I haven't heard from her in so long. She never answered me letters. No, stay, for I'll have a reply to send. What the? Oh, the stone-hearted, grasping hag. Wouldn't let me take so much as a hunk of dried fish when I left the island, and now she wants gill? That succubus.
I'm sure you don't mean that. She must really need it if she's asking for it.
You think me cold? Well, fie on what you think. I wanted something better than tilling salty fields and spilling small fry out the nets, and occasionally taking a passing sailor into me bed for more of the same. She'll receive no reply from me. Thank you for your service, and good evening to you.
After that last interaction, I was starting to feel like we should call it a day. I couldn't understand why she'd call her mama such a cruel name. Surely she couldn't be as awful as she said she was. Then again, Great-Grandpa always said there were two sides to every story, and if I were being honest, I wasn't sure I wanted to crack the spine of that book right now.
You look like an adventurer who gets around.
I reckon I do, sir. How can I be of service?
Mayhap you've noticed the curls and jackals getting at each other's throats of late. I've never seen anything quite like it, and the bloodshed only worsens by the day. If this continues, I dare say that one of these groups will wipe out the other before long. Now, it bears mentioning that this species of coral is a native to Vilbrand. By rights, they shouldn't even be here. Nay, I believe they were smuggled.
Smuggled?
I know of a merchant who may have had a hand in these dealings. Her name is Raconte, and after some probing, I've come to believe she's somehow involved. I would question her myself, but she's like to flee at the first sight of yellow. That's where you come in. I need you to speak with her and learn all you can. Take a look around. She's bound to be nearby.
Aye, sir. I'll see if I can't find her. Now that he mentioned it, I thought I noticed a Mikote gal muttering to herself by the entrance. Seemed mighty suspicious if you asked me. Pardon me, ma'am. I've been asked to speak with you by the...
What's this? So they've sent ye to do their dirty work? Well, you'll never take me alive. Never!
Please, ma'am, calm down. I just need to speak with you.
But please don't hurt me. I didn't do nothing wrong. I smuggled in the curls for breeding like he asked. But that's it. I ain't the one sending the jackals into a frenzy, I swear.
But ma'am, I didn't ask you to smuggle in anything. A Yellow Jackets officer sent me to—
Eh? The Yellow Jackets sent ye? And not no pirates? Why the hell didn't you say so earlier? Well, you've caught me. I'm behind the curls in Aleport. Those good-for-nothing pirates had me breed jackals for 'em too. With the right training, they make for nasty watchdogs and the like. But the pirates wanted more, and that's why they asked me for the curls, that they did. I smuggled 'em in. But the pirates took 'em before I could finish the job. Suppose they didn't want to wait for the breeding, but the buggers let 'em escape. Now they have jackals on the loose trying to get rid of the curls and clean their mess. I'm a victim as well, you know. Aye, they paid good coin for the animals, but now they got folk chasing after me. Want to cover their tracks, I'm sure. You hurry and tell those Yellow Jackets I ain't to blame. You hear?
Not to worry, ma'am. I'll let them know.
Ah, you're back. What can you tell me about Raconte's dealings?
Well, you see, sir, she was tricked into bringing the curls into Vilburn by pirates. She didn't know it'd get out of hand.
She claims to be a victim as well. Huh. It was agreed to brought the curls to Vilburn, and she's sorely mistaken to think the Yellow Jackets will turn a blind eye. Mark my words, she will be held accountable. At any rate, we now know why the curls and jackals are trying to tear each other to shreds. The pirates were quite careful not to leave any clues, but we've managed to capture Raconte's assailants. They're being questioned as we speak, and it won't be long before we track down the pirates. Don't worry, friend. The Yellow Jackets will see them brought to justice.
That's good news, sir. I'm happy to have helped.
In the meantime, there's still the matter of Raconte and the Beast running amok in the fields. I shudder to think what may happen should the jackals and girls continue fighting for much longer. I have a plan, but your assistance is essential to its success. Let me know when you're ready to begin.
Of course, sir. I'll help any way I can. Before we turned in for the night, there was one more place I wanted to visit located just outside of Aleport. Prior to the calamity, Swift Perch was a thriving farmland that grew wonderful golden wheat around a watchtower used by the Yellow Jackets. When the red moon fell from the sky, the farmers fled, leaving their dodos to fend for themselves. And that accounts for all the wild dodo running around in the area. There are only a few folks remaining in Swift Perch nowadays. These farmers hope to cultivate the land and restore the settlement to its former glory. I'd heard at Aleport that the folks here often needed help from passing adventurers and thought I might be able to assist. Howdy, sir. My name's Systori Kwestori, and I'm here to offer my assistance, if you need it.
Oh, these wild dodos you see about the place were actually once domesticated birds bred by me father. They broke loose during the chaos of the calamity and gradually became the feral, ill-tempered creatures we now do our best to avoid. If I am to restore Swift Perch to the very same settlement it was when me father was alive, then I must also try me hand at dodo raising. And as you have likely surmised, I shall require your adventurer's resourcefulness in this endeavor.
Certainly, sir.
For the initial stage of my dodo rearing enterprise, I need you to head into the flock and seek out dodo nests. You'll be looking for fertilized eggs. 3 of them should do nicely for now. With 3 eggs, I should be able to experiment with breeding. Success or failure is not terribly important to begin with. I mean only to gain some practical experience with the birds. But pray be careful when liberating the eggs. The adult dodos will not take kindly to an intruder making off with their offspring.
Not to worry, sir. I'll get you your eggs. We've successfully collected the eggs, sir.
Yes, you did exceptionally well in selecting only fertilized eggs. Now that I consider it, I'm not entirely sure how you managed to tell. In any case, I must raise the naturally aggressive dodo from the egg if I'm to have any chance of surviving the breeding process. Apart from encouraging a more docile behavior while the bird is but a chick, it is imperative that I remove the gland that produces the infamous poisonous breath. My father's notes quite graphically depict the consequences of failing to do so. This really is rather exciting. Every day I take another step closer to my vision of a swift perch, surrounded by golden fields of wheat and echoing with the calls of plump, waddling dodos.
Call on me anytime, sir. I wish you luck in your endeavors. The sun had set by the time we made our way back to Aleport. As we sat overlooking the port, my mind drifted over our adventures in the last 24 bells. It seemed the farther we traveled from home, the more colorful folks became. I hoped Snyrel wouldn't be punished too harshly for her mistakes. Her zeal for protecting Aleport sure was admirable. And I hoped Miss Wilstwist would be able to repair her relationship with her mama someday. I don't know where I'd be if Ma hadn't raised me the way she did. Though perhaps that's what made Ms. Wilstwist strong enough to defend her people. I wondered what the Yellow Jackets' plans were for dealing with the Curls and Jackals. There sure was plenty left to explore in Aleport. Well, Farran, it looks like we'll be sticking around a little longer.